If one person has Mario Kart World, up to 4 players can race in split screen on the same
Hold on. Stop talking.
system.
Stop talking. Wait. Hold on. Now we got this thing working today. Yeah.
The game also supports local wireless play.
I'm gonna tell
Up
my
to
mom
8
about
players,
this because
with up to 2 players
it
on
also
each
shows
system,
actually
can
finally
race
here.
together this way. And up to 24 players from around the world can join a race or battle in online play. This may look like free roam, but this is where you'll wait while your friends join you. Looks like someone's arrived. Yep, you can meet up with your crew anywhere in this world. By checking the map, you can quickly see where your friends are and travel to their location. Battle or race with custom rules. Or just go for a ride together. Make this road trip your own. You can also take photos together along the way, if that's more your speed. With Game Chat, enjoy an expanded experience by talking online with friends. Use the built-in microphone to voice chat while driving together.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Check this out. Nice. Are you kidding me?
Or take a back seat and watch each other's game screens. If you have a Nintendo Switch 2 camera, you can enjoy seeing your friends' reactions while playing together. Who's close by? Wait, who just passed me? You'll be able to tell in an instant. Hey, Michelle, and bullseye. And when playing together in person on the same system, a single camera can detect up to 4 people's faces. Enjoy the view and get ready to face off with your friends.
Get a Nintendo Switch 2, but really neat. If I would have had Nintendo Switch 2, that would have been way crazier than expected. Hold on.
A transcontinental race around the world is just around the corner in Mario Kart World, available exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2. A hardware bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World will also be available.
Let's go.
Mario Kart World on Nintendo Switch 2 is the first new home console Mario Kart in 10 years. Logan and I got to play a ton of it today on Switch 2 hardware, and we loved it, and we can't wait to tell you all about it, so let's go.
Whoops.
Okay, so Mario Kart World's big new thing is the massive interconnected
course, and you are world wrap.
Horizon style open world driving game approach. We got to poke around a lot in this world. It's huge, and there's hidden secrets, collectibles everywhere. You can drive a boat now as your cart into the sea, and there was just like this big huge cloud blowing wind at me, maybe telling me to back off. I found this other area where there's just a bunch of coins tucked behind this little ridge. There's grind rails and stuff that you can interact with, or you can just hang out and take pictures with friends or whatever you want to do. The thing I'm wondering is sort of like, what's the hook? What's the loop of like finding these coins? Do we get to spend them in a shop, unlock carts or characters or costumes? Like there's so much you can do with that.
Yeah, it is a lot like Forza Horizon. In some ways, it's not a fully open world, right? There are these tracks that you're heading to the next place on. But I think that Nintendo fans will remember Diddy Kong Racing, and that had this hub world that you drove around back on N64, and there were balloons to find and things like that. And when we were in a lobby waiting for our race to start and just kind of free roaming, I saw this glowing gold peach coin that I couldn't get to, and we don't really know what that is. Maybe it unlocks costumes or different outfits or some unlockable for Peach. Yeah, I think there's going to be stuff to do in the free roaming open world. And something else I liked about it is that was the lobby now. That is the loading screen. You're not staring at your me standing on just planet Earth anymore like Mario Kart 8. You are driving around practicing. There's a rewind button. Like if you want to go back, just like Forza, you can just rewind and you could go like all the way back to the very beginning of where you started. So it's going to be more fun when you're waiting for lobbies to fill with 24 people now, not 12 people now, that you'll have something to do.
A brand new race across the entire world starts here.
I want to talk a bit about characters in this game. There are tons of them. We went through the entire character select screen. So there's not only all the classic Nintendo characters or Mario characters specifically, but also alternate costume versions of them. And that plays sort of interestingly because you can also find power-ups in the race, largely centered around food. You can get food, and that food changes and alters your looks and your costume, which potentially gives you different sort of mechanics that you can use in the game.
On the character select screen, there's all the characters, Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, all the rest. And then there were alternate versions of them. There was like Cowboy Mario and like Athletic Donkey Kong or something like that. And they had different costumes. We don't really know if they impacted their stats. We're not entirely sure yet. You could pick one of these different costumes, but then you find one of these special power-ups, and it almost looks like a Wonder Flower effect from Super Mario Bros. Wonder when this food is taking over your character, and then you pop out in a different costume.
My favorite new character that I got to play as a bunch today, I kept picking, was Cow from Moo Moo Meadows from N64 Mario Kart. One thing we did notice was that there are a bunch of characters that you can't choose that do appear in the races next to you, like Monty Mole or the Piantas from Super Mario Sunshine or the Conch Doors from Super Mario 3D World. So, Logan, you think we'll be able to unlock all those guys eventually?
Yeah, I have to think so. Maybe that's one of the incentives to the open world and the others.
So I want to talk about some of the new items we got to experience today, because a lot of the classic ones are back, but some new ones are really fun. One of them are just hammers from the Hammer Brothers. You just throw hammers at people like you're a psycho in Home Depot. I thought those were great. There's also a punchable coin block that you can launch above your head. You hit it a bunch of times, you get a bunch of coins. But there's also altered versions of classic items, such as the lightning bolt, which you noticed.
Yeah, the lightning bolt is way different in World. Instead of, Mario Kart 8, if you're in first place and you get zapped, you're probably shrunk for 30 seconds maybe. In World, it seemed like everybody was zapped and came back to full size pretty quickly. So just a balancing thing. I think they had to make a lot of core changes just to the Mario Kart DNA because of 24 racers. That changes a lot of stuff, and I think items is one place where that happened. And we also saw you no longer have to hold the item button to drag a shell behind your butt anymore. Like if you're in first place, you want to protect yourself with a banana or a green shell from oncoming red shells or whatever else is coming your way. You would have to hold that button. The ref that was there said, oh no, it just drags automatically now. And it's not just shells and defensive items. Everything drags behind you. I did ram into one with a single mushroom and it gave me a boost. Yeah, presumably you can just slam into CPUs with whatever's behind them. Something will trigger, which is really cool.
We also got to play on a bunch of different courses today. What were some of your favorites?
Yeah, what's really cool is that there were definite remixes of classic Mario Kart courses in here, and even some turns and segments that were ripped straight from old Mario Kart games, but just remixed a little bit, like Dino Dino Jungle from Double Dash is here, but it's different. The music plays, it's a remix of that track, and you go through the same turns with the geysers that boil over and launch you into the air. There's retro tracks, but not in the sense that, hey, we plucked this from Mario Kart DS and we remade it here. It's we took this theme, this idea, this motif, and kind of just remixed it a little bit to fit this entirely new formula. They were all really, really good.
Introducing Knockout Tour.
Knockout
Knockout
Tour is
Tour.
the brand new non-stop 6-race, 24-player
sound like that.
Fortnite-style
Knockout
battle royal
Tour.
Mario Kart mode, and it feels so right. This takes place in the open world, so you can hang out in the open world, launch into this, and while you're waiting for the game to populate, you just hang out, drive around, collect stuff, do your open world stuff. Little by little, eventually, characters will start to pop in, and they'll all choose a Grand Prix that they want to race on or a set of courses. Those votes are then tallied, and then you jump into that race, and then immediately from there, you're going as fast as possible, and you have to make it through checkpoints at a certain point in the race. Like if you're in, you have to be in the top 20 or you get eliminated. And things happen so fast, they're so chaotic and so crazy. I love this mode so much.
Yeah, it is super fun. And this is a bigger commitment than your standard 2 to 3 minute Mario Kart race. This is 10-ish minutes probably for the whole thing. It's 6 segments, and you're driving from one track to the second, to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth, to the sixth. You're not stopping and doing an individual lap at that circuit. You're just driving kind of the in-between areas. So a very different take. You're not going to see anything twice in this race because it is a linear path from start to finish, like a 10-minute long Mount Wario, essentially. And it's super fun. It feels like F-Zero, where every moment is intense. It's not just about winning the race at the end and maybe you get a lucky bullet bill. It is lap 3. I am in 16th place. I need to be in 12th place. Can I get there? You're trying to pass people, and there's 12 people behind you trying to pass you. And you, Brian, had a really unlucky one the first time we tried this. You went to like 3rd to 22nd, which is something you can say now in Mario Kart World. It's crazy. Adding 24 characters to the track just makes it so chaotic.
It happened so fast, I was just jaw-dropped, stunned, and all I could do was laugh. This is going to lead to some of the funniest moments in Mario Kart history, and I cannot wait for it. Mario Kart World launches day and date on Nintendo Switch 2 when the system launches, and it's going for $80. And I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I have to get it off my chest that this feels just a little weird. We loved what we played today. All the modes are great. All the characters are awesome. It didn't really scream, this justifies $80 to me. It just really feels like Nintendo knows that this is one of the best-selling franchises of all time. But why is this game $80?
It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when something like Donkey Kong Bonanza, which looks equally amazing, is $70. It's just a very inconsistent pricing structure from Nintendo, and we're seeing what their upgrades to $10 for some, $20 for another. And Mario Kart being the first $80 Nintendo game, yeah, I'll easily get $80 worth of value out of it, but it is a tough pill to swallow for a game so aimed at families, and it just makes me wonder, is Animal Crossing going to be $80? Splatoon, the next Zelda, like, it's opening a can of worms that we'll see how Nintendo proceeds, and if in 1 year they add 8 new tracks for free, I'll feel great about that purchase. But if they come out and add a DLC pass where I'm putting more money into Mario Kart World, I don't know how people are going to feel about that, so it's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if this thing came bundled with like a year of Nintendo Switch Online or some sort of season pass content, something that made it feel like, hey, this is, we're really getting a bang for the buck here, it'd be a little easier to handle. But right now, it kind of stinks. It's the only real negative we have about Mario Kart World so far, which otherwise feels, looks, and plays fantastic. But that's Mario Kart World, one of the many games we played here at the Nintendo 2 Switch preview event in New York City. We also went hands-on with the hardware, so go check out that video. Logan, thank you so much for all things Nintendo Switch 2, Mario Kart World, and the cow eating other cows. Stick with IGN.
All right. Let's see. What's this? Harry Potter?
When you decide to step up to this kind of play, this kind of fun.
Why does it look like Harry Potter trailer? That's actually.
Coley!
This kind of experience.
Hey, guys.
Nice jacket, Paul.
Why are you dressed like you're in a boy band?
Seriously? My Super NES commercial from the 90s with my long black duster, indie rocked hair, and beaded necklace? Now we're playing with power. Come on.
Hi, Uncle Paul.
Lisa.
I can't wait to tell my class how I clowned you guys.
It's a lot of lip
I
out of you,
actually don't
Lisa.
remember
Time
this
for
part.
thumbs
So,
to do the
yeah.
talking. Let the games begin. Lisa, how are you going that fast?
I
You don't even
actually
have an
don't
actual
remember.
driver's
All
license. Let me show you a little something I learned in the 1900s.
You can ride rails now?
I'll be honest with you, that was purely accidental.
You boomers are cute, but you're gonna lose.
Don't be so sure, Lisa. I take tons of supplements. She's on a wall. She's on a wall.
Lisa, get down. You're not allowed to be up there. My head is a burger, and you know what that means? I don't it means something good. No.
Yes!
Lisa!
Lisa!
I'm gonna feel that tomorrow.
You know, guys, it's nice playing with power, but this is better because now we're playing together.
Super together.
Uh-oh. He's doing a voice.
Nintendo Switch
What?
2. All together, anytime, anywhere.
And these new features, being able to play with like your friends or your family. And it's also, it's great too because you can take this with you. Place like being on set, all of that is conducive.
In 1991, Nintendo teamed up with Paul Rudd to create one of the most iconic video game commercials of all time. And because the world can be a great place sometimes, they're doing it again for 2025 and Nintendo Switch 2. Here to tell me all about it is Paul Rudd. Hey, Paul.
Hi, how's it going, Brian?
So 34 years after your first commercial together, you and Nintendo have somehow done it again. And it's very, very funny. How on earth did this new one come together?
Well, Nintendo reached out to me. I got a real kick out of this idea. I remember shooting the original one very well, and it was one of my very first jobs. And I just thought that this idea that they had about redoing it was really funny, and it would be fun. And it just kind of came about like that.
Hi, Uncle Paul.
Lisa?
I can't wait to tell my class how I clowned you guys.
It's a lot of lip out of you, Lisa.
Time for our thumbs to do the talking.
The original one went viral out of nowhere like 7 or 8 months ago, which was, it just got this whole new life, which was amazing to see. I was telling my friends about this and they were like, yes, I love that commercial so much. So it's very cool that it's back. What was it like getting in that wardrobe again, the hair, the big black jacket, all of that? I feel like people could pull that off in 2025 because fashion is sort of cyclical now.
Sure, I can't. In the original, the hair, that really was my hair. And this one, I mean, we were really trying to go for the look, but I remember it all and it was making me laugh. I want to say that maybe even in the original one, that might have been my own beaded necklace, which, you know, I think is long gone.
Like you brought it with you to the set and they're like, yeah, sure, that works.
Yeah, they're like, that seems cool, man. Let's go with that.
Did it make you miss the 90s doing this again?
You know what? It did. It made me, I think it made me nostalgic in all of the right ways. Like I said, I remember playing that. I remember shooting that commercial and so it is nostalgic, but then they're playing this new, you know, the Nintendo Switch 2 and then all of these kinds of updates to the games and the Mario Kart World and now seeing like my buddies down below on it. Like it did have this feel of nostalgia, but it kind of with a all leaning toward the future, and it was kind of fun to see both of those things hit at the same time.
That's awesome.
You know, guys, it's nice playing with power, but this is better because now we're playing together.
Might be my
Super together.
Uh-oh. He's doing a voice.
So you were in your early 20s in 91. What were your video game habits like back then? I mean, you grew up in a really good time. Were you playing Nintendo since you were a kid? Did you go to arcades growing up?
Yes, there was an arcade not far from my house, and it was like the greatest thing ever to be able to go to the arcade. I mean, I remember playing the original Donkey Kong, and that was my favorite. And it was also so different than any other game. I remember being really young. And
not gonna lie, my dad used to play Donkey Kong, so yep. The Lost Masters are
自分が望む結末ではなかったと絶望するのなら他の世界に退場すればいい。選択肢は無限にあるはずだ。
kind of weird in this trailer. I might rewatch this trailer. So yeah. Oh my god. It literally laughed, alright? Oh look, it's Sora sleeping on the couch. I didn't know he was sleeping on the couch. So I might rewatch this trailer again. Or Ratum.
聖者の世界ではあるけれど 私たちにとっては死の世界ってことになるみたい。
No, what's crazy in this trailer? I forgot about this part. Okay, so the dark side was lifting cars. So okay, and how's the audio? So, anyway, and yeah, sorry, video. Well, but that's funny. He just literally taking a recording on his phone. That's actually funny. Okay, different command menus. Hold on. So we got a drive EX. Is this supposed to be a drive gauge? But MP, alright, MP. Look, the MP is different. HP bar looks kind of different. Like, what's this? Oh, what was that? Whoa! What was that? So he's not. Is he spinning? I'm kind of confused on that part because Sora was actually spinning. You could see the sparks. He was actually spinning. Oh, there's that chain hook. It's the chain hook. Another one. Okay. That right there, that jump. Is that a super jump? Am I tripping? Because that almost reminds me of Super Jump from Kingdom Hearts 3. Okay, he counters it. Shoot. No. He just literally. Okay, scrapping belt. I'm gonna rewind this part. So he used this type of spell wherever the heck it is. I might rewatch. He used the spell, spins his Keyblade, blocks the dark side spin, aka the punch to the dark side, spins the Keyblade, just literally what's it called? Repels or parries the punch, literally absorbing it or building it, whatever it's called. Shoots at the dark side in the chest with a projectile. Now, that's a completely different story. That's a complete different story. I didn't realize this part. I didn't realize that part. So, yep.
元の世界に戻れると思うな。
Yay! We got the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer by Disney. Oh, it's Donald and Goofy.
手がかり見つかるといいね。おい、どこへ行くんだよ。
At least that's actual canon. That's actual. Magic in the making. Disney developed by Square Enix. A Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event. A recap video of this event will be available at so yeah, that's a different story. So I would say this will be kind of good. I'm still excited for Kingdom Hearts 4. We'll be releasing what? Not next year, maybe a week or days. I don't know how many weeks or days when it's gonna be here. So yeah. Oh yeah, let's go to the Kingdom Hearts not trailer. Twitter. Not new screenshots. New screenshots. If we go to Skyward Wing, sorry, shout out to him. No,
Great
why is it
ideas
still
can come
here?
from anywhere.
Banned.
May
Get this out.
14th, 2025 will be considered one of the most roller coastery days the Kingdom Hearts fandom has ever experienced. We got the cancellation of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, nice and early in the morning, great way to start your day. And then later, they ended up releasing 7 screenshots from Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't know if this was in direct response to all the negative feedback that they were getting, or if this was part of their plan to release them anyway. Point is, we got Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshots, y'all. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was excited for this one.
This video is going to be a little bit more off the dome, so I'm going to be going through each screenshot individually, and I made a list of things that I wanted to talk about because this is a lot. There's a lot of information here. They gave us specifically 7 screenshots to look at, just enough information for it to be interesting to discuss, you know, but not enough to be like, okay, this game feels like it's at a competent stage of development right now where they feel like it's going to release anytime soon. I don't feel that way from these screenshots, but I do want to go through them each individually one by one because there is so much. There are so many little itty gritty details that I'm really excited to talk about. I made a list of all the screenshots individually. There are technically 8 or 9 because there are English and Japanese versions of the screenshots. These are slightly different and have a bit more information around them. So this is the first one right here, showing
This one right. So we got these shadows. They look like Neo shadows we got here in the HUD. This HUD looks completely different. We got the good old MP bar, the good old HP bar, the good old Sora's face bar. And is this stupid Discord noise? Is this supposed to be a shot log gauge? No, this is supposed to be a focus gauge or something. It might be a focus gauge. In the shoes of Sora, literally grinding on a chain because he looks like he's in flow motion. And I see these stars and these type of here right there. And we got this type of guy right there. This guy with a gauntlet or something, wherever it is. So we got the build items. Oh, look at the numbers, the magic, the attack, and the wherever this is. I'm gonna say this might be like a prologue or a prologue episode or a prologue chapter to Kingdom Hearts 4. Believe me, it would have been a different one. So yeah, I don't know what these projectiles are. I think they're literally gonna hit those enemies. So we got these type of Shibuya, aka Quadrantum, Neo Shadows. These Neo Shadows, and the watch I believe is gonna be important. The Keyblade, the Keyblade looks kind of different today. Kind of like that.
Sora fighting strange looking enemies inside of the Quadratum streets. First thing I want to mention is that, are these Heartless? These look like Heartless mainly because of their shadowy figurey shape. They remnants very much.
Like, I actually like this design of the these Heartless, whatever. So the part about this, I believe some people think they're Darklings or Neo Shadows in this version. They look like they're wearing a Keyblade armor, or it might be a new Darkling because when a Keyblade wielder falls or succumbs into the darkness, they become this type of thing. So yeah, believe me or not.
Much like the Neo Shadows, if you look at the little, I call them the skinny legends. These are the Heartless, I call the skinny legends right here. They have no emblems. They don't seem like they have any emblems, but...
And one confused me, they don't have no emblems. That actually kind of confused.
You know, not every Heartless has emblems in the Kingdom Hearts series anyway. These could be just new types of enemies, or I imagine they're Heartless though. They just look like Heartless. There's new types of Heartless. There's also these new types of enemies with these fists in the back. They seem like to have these giant metal gauntlets. It's this purple looking one looks really nice. Do you think this looks really cool? I like the fit. It's just cool to see new Heartless designs. Not only that, but Sora has normal shoes. This might be the most jarring announcement out of all of this. If you look closely at his shoes, they are kind of like these Converse looking kicks, and they look fantastic. I think seeing Sora with normal shoes is super jarring, but I think it was finally time for them to grow into that. It looks great. Not only that, but the shoes themselves are actually glowing. If you look at them, you can see it looks like he's committing flow motion on top of this chain here, being able to ride this potential chain to do damage to enemies. I think that looks really cool. If you look down at the HUD as well, we have our normal command HUD, which we have a Quadratum themed HUD, which is really cool. I think this looks really cool. The bright yellow, the buildings in the background. I think that looks really, really vibrant. We have our normal commands, which consist of attack, magic, items, and build. This one confuses me substantially. The first time I saw this, I was like, are they putting Fortnite in the game? Is this Sora about to have like a Minecraft Steve type ability? We don't know what this looks like. I think this being in the position of what a drive form, a summon, a special ability like that can look like would be here. So this is potentially whatever the big gameplay transformation type thing. This is something with building. Maybe Sora materializes things in real time, similar to how Yozora does inside of his own fights. He pulls out his own guns out of thin air, and maybe Sora is able to have this freedom with his own weapons as well. I think that'd be really cool. It's cool to see that we're getting something new in that regard too. Not only that, but if you can look at the items tab, you're actually able to keep track of how many items you have. They have a 3 here showing that you have potentially 3 potions. I don't know if it's like only potions or ethers or anything, but I do think it's really cool that they labeled this with the number on the outside so you can know how many items you have at all times. Small quality of life thing really goes a long way. Big fan. If you look closely too, Sora is looking like he's wearing a smartwatch. There's this small circular device on his wrist. What could this possibly mean? I imagine that this is going to be a gameplay mechanic in some sense, mainly because of who Sora is as a character. I doubt that this is a normal watch strictly because of the circular pattern around it. This looks like an Apple Watch or just one of those smart watches, those touchscreen watches. I imagine it's one of those modern technology things that Sora adapts as he's in his new Quadratum life. Maybe a method of communication between him and Strelitzia, who knows? But Sora's rocking a smartwatch. That's bugged out. If we go back to the HUD though, you can see that the side arrows have another arrow right next to it. If you look at attack, there's an arrow right there. It probably tabs over into another menu. In Kingdom Hearts 3, you were able to customize a bunch of loadouts and kind of shift between them whenever you wanted to. So I'm imagining there's probably other tabs that you can access and probably another list of Sora's new abilities that we haven't seen yet. I'm wondering how many tabs they're going to have in Kingdom Hearts 4, because there's so many things you can have there besides like items and magic, like they had summons and such. So cool that they're able to tab that out. I think that's really nice. If you look closely, while Sora is riding on this chain, you can see pieces of the chain breaking off. I'm imagining maybe this is when Sora is colliding with these enemies. It kind of amplifies the fact that he's attacking them by breaking the chain, kind of showing the hit as such. I think it looks really cool. There's also these star icons being connected to hearts as part of the attack particles here. Just looking at this very much gives me either a Kyrie or Strelitzia type look to it, more so that the stars are directly attached to the hearts. Makes me think of their connection. I don't know if we're gonna get some Strelitzia based abilities in Kingdom Hearts 4. That would be really cool. I would be a big fan of that because she's playing a predominant role. We need her to have some gameplay mechanics as well. I think that'd be pretty dope. Not only that, but we have a new HUD for Sora, kind of giving us a better look at his render as well. Not only that, but this time Sora is kind of looking to the side this time. It looks like he's actually looking at the gameplay this time, as if he was an observer. Is this them representing the fact that this is an unreality type situation where he is self-aware of the situation he's in, kind of looking at himself? I thought this was really bugged out because you can always tell when Sora's looking away in the HUD, but this one right here, it looks like he's looking at the gameplay. I just thought that was a weird one. These are all the important things that I could point out from this screenshot here. There is the Japanese version of the Quadratum Streets one as well, which kind of gives us a different angle, and there's a bunch of new information in this one as well. For starters, we get a better look at that Fist Heartless, and it seems like there's going to be colored variations, as we have a purple and a red one. I'm imagining maybe
this one, these guys, I forgot about this one.
Or maybe the red one is just charging up his attack, and that's an indicator for Sora to move or for you to block. And then we get a better look at the Skinny Legends Heartless. We kind of see that their anatomy is really all over the place, and they kind of lean and move in this really creepy way. You can also kind of look in their face, and that's really cool. These are scary looking Heartless. But if we're talking about scary looking enemies, what is this in the background right here?
Like, what is that? Dude, what is that right there? Buddy, who are you? Why? Who are you? Why? Who actually are you? Like, bro, you're literally look like this. Like, why? Who is this man? Who is this man? Who is this man? Who mans is this? Whose mans is
There's
this?
this four-legged AT-AT looking thing. I don't know if that's actually a Star Wars reference or anything, but looking at it, it looks like it's just standing on fours and all discombobulated and ready to just mess up Sora in the background. Probably shoots out lasers or something crazy like that. If you look at Sora in the background, there's this like shadowy sword-shaped thing. I think this is one of the skinny legends attacking Sora, maybe transforming into something as he lands that hit. Who knows? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but I do like that figure standing up behind him in the back.
Man, goodbye. Bye. Nope.
The next screenshot we got is a close-up of Strelitzia. This time we get a better look at her model, which seems to be substantially improved since the first Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. This actual version of Strelitzia looks like she fits in the Kingdom Hearts lore, more so in that original Kingdom Hearts engine. Looking at the scene as well, I'm thinking that this is going to be the same apartment. This could probably be even the same doorway as such. If you look in the background, you can see a window, or at least what looks like a window, and I'm imagining outside that window would be the Quadratum City streets. So this is just another screenshot of Strelitzia chilling inside of her apartment. Very nice. Next up, we got an image of just a phone. Now, obviously this phone has to be incredibly important and teasery if they're going to include just a phone to be a part of the screenshots. To include a phone amongst all of this amplifies its importance in the lore. So I was looking into it, and this is an item called a wind phone. This had originated in Japan and offered mourners a symbolic way to call their departed loved ones. Though the phones connect to nothing physical, they connect to something far more profound, words that float between worlds. I'm imagining that this phone is actually a connection to the dead, and in this context, Sora is the dead one in this situation. What if this phone is actually the connection between unreality, where Sora is now, and the Kingdom Hearts land where all of our friends are before? Maybe we get some information or some lore or something from this phone. Just, this phone has to be so important. For them to focus on this rotary phone and not have such an emphasis on death and communicating with the dead, this has to be one of those things. I thought that was really cool. Next screenshot shows a playable Mickey Mouse inside of what seems to be a library. First off, playable Mickey Mouse, massive W, let's go, let's go, let's go. If you know how I feel about this, I always think that having more playable Kingdom Hearts characters is a good thing, especially in a context like this. So if we look at this screenshot, we get a playable Mickey, and it seems like he's in his Kingdom Hearts 3 attire. No problem. The important thing I want to mention here is if you look at the HUD, it shows that he only has an attack button. So I'm imagining that this is a very limited gameplay section. I don't know if they didn't mean to add the rest of the HUD yet, but if you look at the HUD, it also looks like it originates from the Kingdom Hearts universe, not the Quadratum universe. This looks like he's still in Scala Ed Kylum, so it had concluded that Mickey Mouse will be going to Scala Ed Kylum to find out more about the Keyblade wielders. So I'm actually imagining this is what that is. We get a section, a playable moment with Mickey Mouse exploring the library of Scala to find out more info. When does a moment like this actually play out? And I'm hoping this is what this could mean, and this can make Kingdom Hearts 4, in my opinion, really transcend and really level up as a game in the series for me. So why and where does this take place? I'm imagining that this is something that takes place between Sora gameplay. So we get a little bit of Sora gameplay, and then we cut to Mickey Mouse or potentially a different character giving us some exposition of them looking for Sora. So in this case,
I'll be right
Mickey
back.
is in
Give me a
Scala
sec.
and Kylum looking for Sora. What if we get other instances of other characters?
I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back.